Just over 3 years ago, EA announced a brand new skate game. And in this video right here, we're gonna go over everything that we know so far about the next Skate 4 game. I guess one of the biggest things that we can mention so far, guys, is this next Skate game is not called Skate 4. They're calling it just Skate.
So, Skate 4.
Nope. Okay, there are the bottles and everything at me now. No, it's not Skate 4. And here's the reason. This isn't a sequel. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot, a prequel. It's not any of that. It's not a remake, a remaster, whatever Re can do. This is it. It's Skate. We're in it for the long haul. That means we're not an iterative title. There won't be a Skate 5 through 10. We won't be pumping them out all the time. We're gonna do this. We're gonna listen to what you guys say over the course of time and put the features that you guys want into it. Okay, and one more time for the people in the back, it's Skate. It's not Skate 4, just Skate, period. That's why we put a little period after.
When they announced this game 3 years ago, guys, and the new studio, they put together a team of content creators and community members that are a part of the skate culture, I guess, or skate gaming niche. Community members, content creators, and people that are involved in the skate scene all come together to help provide feedback in what they think the next skate game should look like, but also to share what they've enjoyed the most about the skate games in the past and what they can do to bring that back for the next skate game. And this right here is actually really cool for me because I became a content creator a few years ago with Skater XL, and EA actually invited me to be on board with this player council. So I can't speak too much about stuff that they've told me internally and behind closed doors, but we can discuss all the public stuff that we know so far that's on YouTube. They started off with private playtests for just the player council members like myself and other content creators. And since then, they've actually opened up to public PC playtests as well. So you can actually sign up on their website right here. So at the very moment, there's only PC playtesting, but they said that very soon there will be console playtesting coming up. So definitely sign up on their website, guys, for access because they do invite only for these events.
What's the deal with console playtests? We're still just playtesting on PC. We haven't got there yet. We're doing PC first. And then we've got more to share as we move into the console.
So not only have they announced the game, they do play tests, but they're actually very, very active on social media. And also, guys, they run contests where you have the chance to win real prizes like this sweater, for example, or this hat. And you guys too have an opportunity to win these as well too in the contest they run on their Discord and social medias and stuff. So they do still give these out, guys. And if you want to, have a chance to win one yourself, check out their social media, join their Discord, enter the contest, and you have a chance to win these as well. Pretty cool. Alright, so now that we're all caught up to speed, guys, let's get into the big stuff. Skate 4 will be free to play.
We wanted to remove as many barriers to entry as possible so that everyone can play together on day one, regardless of price or platform. So that's why the next Skate game would be a free-to-play title, available to gamers around the world.
And be able to play on their favorite platforms the way that they like to play. And so Skate will be full cross-play and cross-progression across last gen, next gen, and PC. And we'll take it even further and as we're continuing down this road and do the same thing with mobile, right? We want cross-play and cross-progression on mobile.
They even announced phone compatibility too, so you can play on your cell phone, you can play on your console, you can play on your PC. So that's a pretty cool opportunity. Honestly, I think it's a good idea for them, and honestly, it actually provides another source of income for whoever wants to collaborate with Skate 4. So if they have like a Vans item drop on the store and some of that money goes to Vans, I think that's pretty good for skateboarding companies overall. Of course, a lot of that stuff could be free as well too. You'll have opportunities to, unlock free gear, unlock objects and stuff, but you can only assume with a free-to-play model, they're going to sell some of these items as well too. So another thing that you'll notice right away, guys, with the footage of the next Skate game is the climbing and parkour stuff. But we have learned that the parkour climbing that they have in the game is called Flumping, and they actually plan to do a lot with that stuff, guys. They plan to add activities and gameplay experiences around that experience. I would definitely expect the gameplay to include a lot of flumping, whether that be challenges or whatever, to get to places. You'll have to use the flumping mechanic to, play a lot of the game. So it is kind of strange to see the flumping take precedent over the skateboarding sometimes, but that does make sense because the flumping itself, I kind of see as like a funnel, getting in new players into the game, and then they kind of start skateboarding, because skateboarding doesn't appeal to a mass audience, but I think that just messing around and having fun in the game kind of does. So another big thing, guys, is that this next Skate game will be an ever-changing and evolving game. It will never be a stagnant experience. So if you remember back to Skate 1, 2, and 3, where you just, buy the game, then maybe the DLC, and you're just stuck with that for, 10 years, they plan to actually support it for many years to come and have updates over the course of many, many years, guys. So this game will be ever changing and evolving over the course of time. So that's pretty cool.
We cannot just create a static city that will stay the same for the next 10 to 15 years. Exciting part is the Frostbite team is fully supporting us on the journey, and they are ready to invest in future-proof technology that will allow us to build a Vansterdam city that feels alive. We want the community to be immersed in an authentic and welcoming place where they feel represented, and they want to explore by themselves and with the friends, and see this place evolve and growing in time.
So another thing that's pretty apparent that we've seen in these trailers, guys, is the building mechanics that are involved here. We don't really know too much about that, but we do know that there's some insane building mechanics that are involved because we've seen some trailers of, massive ramps in the sky, but they've also announced too that you can actually unlock these things through progression in the game. So I'm assuming that you'll be doing challenges and missions and stuff, getting points and unlocking objects and gear. They haven't really said much about this quite yet, but in the trailers, what it looks like is we have our own apartment kind of thing here. So this has shown up a few different times in their playtest, but we have like these little areas that seems like your own personal area where you can have your gear and your objects and put them all in there and organize your own apartment, it looks like. So kind of like GTA, it seems like. So that has not been officially announced. That's only from what we've seen through the trailers. We also know that the city is called San Vansterdam, which is kind of like paying homage to the old San Vanalona. So the old San Vanalona, I guess, was San Francisco, Vancouver, and Barcelona put together into one name. Whereas the next Skate 4 game is going to be San Vansterdam, which is San Francisco, Vancouver, and Amsterdam. Kind of a weird name, but it is what it is, I guess, and that's the name of the next big city, San Vansterdam. So in terms of gameplay and what we've seen so far that is different from Skate, is the addition of a new lip trick system, power slide and reverts, slappies, and you can also control your flick and scoop speed. So they have changed mechanics. So they are building Skate 4 based off the flick and controls of the previous Skate games. They want it to feel and play like the old Skate games, but they are adding new mechanics to the game to make it feel fresh as well too. So old controls with some new twist to it.
How's this team pushing the innovation here?
Yeah, so every core kind of mechanic of the game, we've gone back and we've reevaluated it and looked at what could we do to grow each of these mechanics. What can we do to make them bigger? What can we do to make them offer more possibilities for all of the players? The grind system itself, the flip tricks, grab tricks, all of it we're trying to see how can we add more. So grind system, for example, we are adding in things like grind leans and grind transitions, so you can actually go from one grind to another without actually having to leave the rail. Building out a proper lip trick system, improving the system for power slides and reverts and how they interact with everything else, and also things like flip tricks, and actually being able to control the speed at which you do and perform your flip tricks.
So you can customize your character's style, how they look and act with like emotes and stuff, their board. We've even seen like custom girl decks and different brands show up in the game so far with Dime. And you can earn items from toilets to flat bars. So not only do you unlock skatable gear and objects, you actually unlock, couches and chairs, and that kind of ties into the apartment thing.
So all of our rewards have one thing in common, and that's giving you more ways to show off what makes you, you. You'll get new ways to customize your character's style, how they look and act, of course, their board as well. You'll also be earning items from flat bars to toilets to play around with using the building tools we have, cause I know.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna say toilets,
Big
really?
fan.
So there are a few different kinds of events that will be rolling in and out of the game. So these events, guys, they'll pop up randomly throughout the world as you're playing the game. But there are also these events called throwdowns and community events that kind of bring people together in the world. So kind of like a multiplayer, experience. So whenever an event pops up in the world, guys, randomly, it'll have different difficulty modes for you to choose from. It'll have modifiers too, like firecrackers, slappies, and all this stuff. So you can kind of modify your experience to be unique. So whenever you do an event in the game, whether it's solo or with people, it'll kind of feel fresh and new.
What's also cool is our city is pretty different than previous games, so this lets us keep things interesting based on where our activities take place. So you might have to find your way to a rooftop skate park for an On the Spot challenge, or the game of tag might take place in a big construction zone. There's so much going on in the world of San Van, which lets us bring tons of variety to each activity type. And with challenges, beyond just the main baseline difficulties that Christine mentioned, we also have modifiers. Modifiers are additional restrictions that will make you rethink how you tackle a challenge. So for example, you might see an On the Spot that has a manual lines don't count modifier. We want challenges to feel fresh and interesting every time you play them, even if it's not your first time, and we want them to grow with you and your skill, giving you more opportunities to prove yourself.
So that is pretty much it, guys. That is almost everything that we know about the next Skate 4 game, minus one thing, their release date.
Truth is, it's early. We're still working on it.
You're joking.